What if I told you that a famous philosopher already proved more than 200 years ago that it is impossible for AI to think like humans do? This proof is actually very easy to understand, and I'm going to put it in simple language without the technical jargon, so please stick around if you're interested in philosophy of artificial intelligence. Okay, to those of you who stuck around, you are legends, and without further ado, let's get straight into it. In the 18th century, philosopher Immanuel Kant put forward a revolutionary theory. Before Kant, philosophers argued whether our experience is just a jumble of related impressions or there are necessary laws such as cause and effect by which we can determine how the universe works. Kant gave a brilliant answer to this problem. He worked backwards. He argued that since our experience is possible for us, there must be necessary rules of reality that have to hold for us to have that coherent experience. For example, he pointed out that coherent experience would be impossible in such a world without cause and effect, and that objects wouldn't even be possible. Thus, if we are having a coherent experience, there must be cause and effect. Let me give an example. Consider a 3D shape, in this case a tetrahedron. Imagine this shape being taken frame by frame, humans using necessary rules of cause and effect to determine that the sequence of frames constitutes an object, and that one frame comes after the other necessarily. When humans experience a shape like this, we interpret our coherent object using these rules and others like space, extension, etc. Think of experience like a frame-by-frame movie. If there were no cause and effect, reality would just not make any sense and experience would not be possible. Our experience would be like that random jumble of sensations. The frames would be totally out of order and without meaning. Our experience does make sense, so there has to be some fundamental rules like cause and effect that reality is based on. But can you guess who thinks in terms of random bundles of sensations? LLMs. Neural networks are prediction machines, just associations between data. Remember the early days, like 3 years ago, when AI generated art looked like fever dreams? This is because AI could not predict what was going to happen in the next frame. In a sense, they couldn't experience objects at all, just probabilistic relationships between frames. This is why it had so much trouble with hands, because hands are complex objects and not easy to find associations between and construct a coherent 3D object. Well, what happened over the next couple of years? The AI art got better, right? Does this mean that AI can suddenly experience objects? Of course not. It just means that it got better predicting the next frame. AI still doesn't know what an object is and still is merely predicting frames just with a very high frequency. Unlike humans, who know exactly what objects are and use necessary rules of reality to have a coherent experience. No matter how good neural networks get, no matter how embodied they are or whatever, they are still pure prediction machines, unlike humans who also predict but also operate with, so to speak, some necessary rules of reality. LLMs don't use rules of reality to construct objects, just a correlated set of features. If LLMs can never know what a physical object is, then how are they supposed to think like a human? There's actually a deeper argument here. It is true that the so-called rules of reality might be able to be programmed into a machine, but the difference is humans are born with them. If the rules of reality were programmed into a machine, it is unlikely that they would be the true innate rules of reality that humans have, since those programmed rules would have to be designed empirically by us, and not the true rules that are impossible to be put forth empirically, which is exactly why they are the true rules, because they are beyond the empirical, so to speak. More and more AI researchers are agreeing that LLMs will never produce AGI, but that won't stop the techno gods from trying to build it. But that is enough philosophy for now. What do you think? Do you agree? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, soul out.